There's all David's stuff. Nothing more.
In life, there are constant opening and closing chapters. I grew up in New Jersey and lived there for my whole life, but for a year and a half, I moved out of state to Illinois to go to college at SIU. I lived in this dorm for 2 semesters and then rented a house with 2 of my roommates that I dormed with and a buddy of ours that we met. I didn't expect this to impact my life as much as it did, but now the town of Carbondale, Illinois has a special place in my life. So when I visited earlier this year, I took videos of all the places that I used to go. One of the things that drew me to go to college at SIU was the campus. It had its dorms right on a lake, which had trails going around the entirety of it. And on campus, you had to walk through a small forest to get to your classes. Being immersed in nature like that was so great, and being able to go out my door and just be on a lake and walk those trails was really an amazing thing for me. I realize now that being away from everything I knew really made me grow and develop more as a person. I didn't bring much with me at all, and not having much made me appreciate everything else more. I didn't even take my car, so I walked everywhere, and in some ways I was kind of like a nomad. I couch surfed, camped for the first time, and walked everywhere around this town. There was a lot of nights I did not spend at my dorm. There was this one time that I walked 1 hour to go and get food, and it wasn't that I couldn't get a ride because a lot of great people asked if I needed one, but I genuinely just enjoyed the freedom of walking around all day and all night with just my backpack. Taking in a new place that I'd be living in made me appreciate my home in New Jersey more too, and made me realize how much good is everywhere. For example, on the way back to Carbondale during Christmas break, I got stuck at the airport for 36 hours. I ended up talking to this mom with 2 kids who was really nice and taking the same delayed flight as me. When we finally got back to Carbondale, she ended up giving me a ride back to my dorm just so I could surprise my roommates because they thought I was going to be stuck there for an additional day. Just little things like that, and people asking if I needed a ride when I was walking around on my adventures, was really nice to see. Beyond that though, the people I met impacted my life and are now some of my closest friends. I'm so grateful to have met the people I did because moving to Illinois was daunting. My roommates were completely random because I didn't know anybody, and if I didn't like them I was going to be stuck with them for at least the first year of dorming. Evan, Jacob, and I got close pretty fast, and I made an effort to meet as many people as I could. I sat out by the tables in my dorm hallway so I could talk to people on my floor. I helped some people move into their dorms, and I went to some campus events as well. The first few days before classes, my roommates and I all hung out. There was a party on campus that my roommate Evan and I went to so that we could meet more people. And the first person we met was Cole, and he invited us to a party that ASIG and Fatal were throwing that night. We ended up going to again meet more people, and we met a lot of people. A lot of them ended up being ASIG members, which I became very close to. And so did my roommate Evan, as he is now a member. One of them drove us home after the party and invited us to their pregame at their apartment. So the next day we went to the pregame with some of the other guys we met at that party, and one of the guys from ASIG mentioned that he was trying to learn to DJ. I told him that I DJ'd and could show him some things. And then Evan goes, "Oh, this guy, he's the best DJ I've ever heard," without ever hearing me mix once. Which led to them introducing me to a DJ duo that was DJing the party that night, Jeff and Yuri. Before the party started, Jeff and Yuri had me hop on and mix a little bit with them. And Yuri looked at Jeff and goes, "Oh my god, he can actually DJ." And then continued to invite me to DJ back to back to back at the party. At the time, I didn't think I would be able to DJ anymore because of going to school, aside from some summer gigs in New Jersey. But Jeff and Yuri jump-started my DJing full-time in college. That party was one of the best events I've ever DJ'd, and it was one of my favorite events I think that I've ever done. After the party, Jeff and Yuri took me to this bar Styx to introduce me to the owner, which led to me getting my first bar residency, which was a big goal of mine. I was pretty much hired on the spot because of Jeff and Yuri's connections and their reputation in Carbondale. They became some of my closest friends along with my roommates and the ASIG members. I'll talk about DJing more, but that was a huge part of my life in Carbondale. I ended up dropping out of college due to getting a career opportunity back in New Jersey as a DJ, but by that point I had already signed a year lease for a house my roommates and I were going to rent. While it wasn't convenient financially, If I could take it back, I wouldn't. I always knew living in Illinois would be a temporary thing, and going specifically for college meant that the people who made Carbondale special would all graduate in 4 years anyway, so it wouldn't be the place that it was. I feel like everything aligned for me while I was there, and I don't regret anything. I've never been big on celebrating my birthday, but my 22nd was the best I've ever had. And it just so happened to land on the same day as a solar eclipse in 2023. And Carbondale, Illinois is referred as the Eclipse Crossroad of America due to its position being in the direct path of totality.
This is a better look at the direct path of totality, right there by Carbondale, that the solar eclipse will take.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a good make some noise!
It started with me forgetting it was my birthday. I was just DJing, and at midnight a bunch of my friends came up to the DJ booth and go, "Happy birthday!" After my gig, we ended up staying out until 6 a.m. like I did most nights, and then Evan woke me up at around 10 a.m. and said, "Get up, you're not sleeping through your birthday." We went to a Darty at A-Sig to watch the eclipse. Evan and I went out after, and we went to go pick out a guitar for Evan. When we got back to our dorm, I showed him some chords on the guitar, and now he's a great player. It became one of the most memorable 24 hours of my life. The level of love that I was given from so many people in a place where I knew no one was overwhelming and still doesn't feel real at times. I can't say it enough, but the people I made connections with made my time in Illinois what it was, and I can't be more grateful for the time I had there. Before I moved back to New Jersey, I trained one of the ASIC members to DJ. His name is Colin, and we became really close too, and now he runs the town as a DJ, just like Jeff and Yuri did. I remember Yuri and Jeff telling me, "You're the next Carbondale DJ." They passed the DJ torch to me, and I really hope that I could be able to do that for somebody else. I didn't expect that DJ to be someone I trained, but I'm so glad it was. Passing on that torch to Colin that Jeff and Yuri passed to me was such a full circle moment, and now Colin has played all the venues I played and way more. But yeah, in life there are constant opening and closing chapters. I hear so many people talk about peaking in life, which I think is ridiculous. Life has constant chapters or peaks that come and go. There are highs and lows, but I think the point of life is to love every season. The good, the bad, the exciting, the not so exciting, all of it. There's a constant rotation of peaks in life, whether it be graduating high school itself, college, graduating college, a really great summer, getting married, having kids, having grandkids. And even though it sounds cliche, the bad times really do make you appreciate and cherish the good times way more. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to make something I could always look back on as a sort of time capsule of a place that I lived that holds so many memories for me.